What's up, guys? Mad Fragger back again. Got another weekly wares video for you. And this past week has been pretty much like the previous one, where it's been pretty cool in the mornings, but then it warms up a little in the afternoons. We really haven't reached that good crisp fall weather yet. So a lot of the fragrance choices that I made this past week kind of reflect that. They're a little more on the versatile side and not quite the kind of fragrances that I would typically envision myself wearing at this time of year. I mean, here we are in November and we're still in the upper 60s and low 70s some days. So let's get right into this. On Sunday, I wore Ultra Red Man by Paco Rabanne. This is got blood orange in the top. There's some tonka bean and patchouli. This is a orange fragrance, but it's really creamy and it kind of gives you that orange creamsicle kind of vibe, especially off the opening. But as it dries down, it takes on a really great masculinity. Starts out kind of like, it's kind of like the mullet of fragrances, like business in the front, party in the back, but it's more party in the front, business in the back. It starts out playful, fruity, fresh, and then as it dries down, it becomes a lot more masculine, a lot more classy. This is a great fragrance. I really love it. It's got this kind of stapler style atomizer on it, and yeah, it's just beautiful. It is a clone fragrance. It is a clone of a Mugler fragrance. I believe it's Orange Zest, and yeah, but it is a really, really good fragrance on its own. And I love the way that this one kind of, like I said, kind of transitions from being a little more playful to being a little more kind of serious there in the dry down. Really, really good one. Check that one out if you haven't yet. There's also another one called Ultraviolet Man that I have yet to get, but I am going to pick that one up here in the near future. So going into Monday, staying along with that kind of like, trying to stick with fragrances that are a little bit fresher and but also have a little bit of like depth to them. I got this one right here. This is Amir Celestial, and this one is a clone of Ganymede by Marc-Antoine Barraud, and this is a really, really good one. I have done this one on like a side by side with Ganymede, and in my opinion, it's a really great clone of Ganymede. But that aside, on its own, this is a really great fragrance that I definitely am a fan of fragrances that have a mineral note to them. Like this one's got that kind of minerality to it, like gives you the impression of like wet concrete or like wet rocks. Really, really classy and opulent, and this is definitely a fragrance that you could wear dressed up. But I feel like it's good to wear casually as well. It's got a freshness to it. Like I said, it's got that kind of mineralic aspect. There's some saffron in here. Does have kind of like a slight Middle Eastern kind of Oriental kind of feel to it in a way, but it's also very classy. And the presentation on this one is really nice. I really like the presentation, and this is a really, really good one that I highly recommend as a fresh kind of like spring summer kind of fragrance. But at the same time, it also carries a certain depth to it that you can wear it in a little bit warmer weather. Definitely spans the gap there. And then on Tuesday, I decided to go with one that I haven't really worn this one in quite a while, but it is one that I really love, and this is Darige. And let me just say, this one here is I've done. I think I've done a quickie review on this. Maybe I'm not even sure. This is one that I really need to do a full review on though, because this is what I believe. This is kind of a sleeper. I've heard it compared to Valentino V, which is a continued Valentino fragrance, and it's got this kind of purple juice in here going on, and it does. I've spoke before about fragrances that give you the kind of like feel of a color when you wear them. The Ultra Red Man that I discussed before definitely gives you an orange feel, and this one does smell purple. It's a really great fragrance that's really classy, and it's a spicy Oriental basically. And but there's a lot going on here that kind of elevates this beyond the price point, beyond what you may expect out of this fragrance. Like this thing, and it is really, really great, and it has very, very good performance. I was really surprised by the performance of this one. When I picked this up and started wearing it, I was like, wow, this one performs like you wouldn't believe. Like it has really, really good performance. And it's a great fragrance, and especially, like I said, it works great for cooler weather, but it also is a fragrance that's fine to wear in a little bit warmer temperatures as well, as long as you're not going into like high heat. This is a great fragrance, and I feel like it would be feel like this would be a really, really good signature scent for somebody. Like if you just are going to have one or two bottles, I think that would be a great signature scent for somebody who likes that kind of spicy Oriental kind of feel. But it's also got some freshness to it. There's some definite classiness there. Now moving forward, I decided to go to a oldie but a goodie, tried and true, and that's going to be Prada L'Homme. This one is this is just class defined, and another one of those ones where when I wear this, I feel like I'm most of the time that I'm underdressed for it. Although it is a fresh, clean fragrance with you got some neroli, and there's iris in here, giving it some really nice floral kind of slight powderiness. Very classy kind of fragrance that definitely could be one that would be great for like a date night or like a night out, but also has a lot of versatility to it. This is definitely a versatile fragrance. Like this is one you could wear just about any time, and it's in typical Prada fashion, it is just gorgeous and classy, and very, very. I would consider it like a mass appealing type of crowd pleaser type of fragrance. Like this is safe for office, for school, whatever. I think you could wear this anytime, any place, really, and it's a great one. Prada L'Homme. Man, I think this is one of those fragrances that I would put like, okay, like I know that I'm not the only one that if somebody asks you like, hey, what's your favorite fragrance? Like, what a tough question, especially when you got such a large collection, or even if you only had like maybe 15 or 20, hard to pick a favorite. But everybody's got kind of like five or so that are in their mind that would compete for that top spot. And Prada L'Homme, it's up close to that, kind of top five. Like it's kind of like scratching the surface of, being up in that category. Like it's just a great classic fragrance. Then I decided to. I had reviewed this one, picked it up at the rack store this past week. I reviewed this, and the day that I decided to give this a wear, I wanted to give this a full wear so that I could kind of come back and do an expanded review on it and kind of let you guys know the longevity after I gave it a full wear. So I decided to wear this. This is one that's going to be a little better for the cooler, kind of crisp fall kind of weather. This is a clone of Mancera's Red Tobacco. And aside from the quality difference, the obvious quality difference, and I picked this up at the rack store at TJ Maxx for $15. You can find it, I've seen it online for around 30, but you know, when you can grab it at the rack store for $15, that makes this a great deal, a steal. And yeah, it is a little better suited for the cooler weather, but I wore this one for the day, like I said, just to kind of get it was the first time I gave it a full wear, and I got a compliment from my good buddy that I play golf with. His mom complimenting on me on this fragrance and said that smells so good, and it is really good for the $15 that I paid for it. I feel like I got more than I'm paying for on this one. Like I feel like it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you find this at your local rack store. Grab this one up. It's worth the buy. It's worth the money. And as far as the performance went, yeah, it was, you know, as I suspected from when I did the test wear on my hand there the first day I got it. As I suspected, 6-7 hour kind of performance range, and it actually does project really well. I was expecting this, being it's a milestone fragrance. I mean, it's Monarch, but it's kind of under that milestone brand. And for a milestone fragrance, the one thing I was concerned about was, what kind of performance am I going to get out of it? But it's not a concern. It does perform good. Not great, but good. It performs above average and better than you would expect for a $15 fragrance. That's Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. This is a good one, especially if you're operating within a budget. Now, yesterday, I decided to go with another one that I picked up just recently this week. And I just did a full review on this one yesterday. This is from the Dua brand. It's called Fire God Mango Infusion. There is just a Fire God from Dua. They do make just a Fire God. And then this is the Fire God Mango Infusion. So this is a clone of Stefan Humbert Lucas's God of Fire. And what they did was they just took that, you know, God of Fire DNA, and they did clone it and make the, you know, Fire God. And then they said, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and overload the mango, and everything else is pretty much the same, but let's overload that mango and just like a mango explosion. And that's what this is. The distinction is this is a God of Fire clone, but with a very elevated mango note. It's a juicy, sweet mango that you could almost like, it's almost like a photorealistic mango where you can just picture a fresh cut, juicy mango. And there's some really nice crisp lemon here as well. And a very distinctive green cannabis note in here as it dries down, especially if you're somebody who is familiar with the smell of fresh cannabis. You're going to get that kind of cannabis feel out of this. At least I do. And I think it's great. I'm glad I picked this one up. I really like it. As far as when I wore it yesterday, it projected a little better than I thought it was going to off my initial first impression. Was I didn't know how good it was going to project, but it did project really well as I got out and about wearing this. And it's just a wonderful scent that I feel is in general is going to be more generally suited for warmer weather. But again, the way the weather is here, yesterday I think it was like high 60s, and this performed beautifully. It came off my skin great. Lasted a good amount of time, about 6-7 hours of longevity out of it. And yeah, this is a really good one, and I'm glad I picked it up. And I really enjoy the fact that they elevated the mango in this, because I just love that kind of mango punch that you get out of this one. Dua Fire God Mango Infusion. This is a great one from Dua. And then last but not least for today, as I was saying before about everybody's kind of got like a few fragrances that rattle around in their brain as being ones that are their favorites. Maybe you can't pick a favorite, but you've got a few that are your favorites. This one here is competing for me just personally, for me, in my opinion, in my collection, that is, this one competes for top three, and it's hard to not say that this is my favorite fragrance in my collection. But when you got things like Mancera's Instant Crush, for instance, Amethyst from the Body Alud Amethyst from Lattafa, like it's hard to say that, oh, well, this is my favorite fragrance when there's other fragrances that I love so much. But this one definitely qualifies as in my top ranks, in the top, probably the top three in my collection. I love it so much. This is Shiaka Red. I've also heard it called Shiaka Silver, and there's one that looks just like it with where the label's blue, which I don't have, but this here is a clone of Reflection Man by Amouage. Actually, I'm going to be doing a full review on this here in the next day or two. This is one that I haven't done a full review on that I really need to. And this is also very similar. The DNA here is very similar. The vibe is very similar to another fragrance that I don't own, but I have sampled and got my nose on, and that's Gucci Elixir, Gucci Guilty Elixir. That one is very similar to the kind of vibe and what's going on here. But this is a clone of Reflection Man from Amouage. The note breakdown here is going to mirror the note breakdown in Reflection Man. There is a great classy powderiness here that and you get like these beautiful florals. Like it's about the best they do the best job in this of taking a floral fragrance that's got a really strong floral influence in it and making it just so masculine. Like this thing is definitely a masculine fragrance in my opinion. Leans a little that way, but the ylang-ylang in here, the white and yellow florals that are present in this fragrance are just absolutely exceptional. I feel like this is one of my favorites in my collection because it smells so classy and so nice, and it's really versatile. It's got some freshness, but it's also got a real great depth to it, and it is a very versatile fragrance in my opinion. But another thing that's great about this fragrance is this one is a great performer as well. This thing will outperform a lot of other fragrances that are kind of in this category, like a floral, kind of masculine floral fragrance like this. Like the performance that you get out of this is incredible. I would call it, if I had to put a number on it, I would say, like, depending on who you are, between 8 to 10. Like I get 10 hours of performance on this. I can put this on in the morning, and in the late afternoon into the evening, I'm still getting projection out of it. I'm still feeling it coming off my skin, still enjoying it. It's just wonderful. It is one of my favorites in my collection, competing for the top spot. It's that good, and it's that much of a favorite for me. And in my collection, this one sits right at the top as far as my favorite fragrances are concerned. And if you enjoy the scent profile of a fragrance like Reflection Man or Gucci Guilty Elixir, then give this one a try. Get your nose on this one. It's a budget fragrance. It runs around the $30 mark or somewhere, and it is a great fragrance for the price, and the quality here is exceptional as well. Like you'll know as soon as you get your nose on this thing and smell it, then you'll understand what I'm saying when I say that this one is one of those ones that's the quality to price ratio. This one is like way above the price as far as the quality of this fragrance goes. So thanks for joining me for another fragrance review, guys, and another weekly wears video. Gonna continue to do these going forward, and if you guys are interested in these weekly wears videos, Drop me a comment and let me know, like, you know, maybe what you guys saw in this video that you thought was something that you, or maybe something you own, and maybe what your opinions were on it, or if it's something you're interested in. If you have any questions about it further beyond what I've said about it here in this review, interact with me. I love to respond to comments. I don't get a lot of comments. I don't get a lot of views. Just point blank honest, but I would love to get some more interaction, especially on these weekly wares videos where I'm just kind of giving you a short description and a short little quick taste of what the fragrance is about. Maybe you want to know more about it. You're interested in picking up something that I have in the list here. Let me know. Thanks again for joining me. I'm the Mad Fragger. I will see you next time.